Hi, my name is Dr. Michael Batu, and today we're going to discuss elasticities. So what do we mean by elasticity? Well, what we're going to do today is we're going to apply elasticity to demand. So in particular, we call this the price elasticity of demand. So price elasticity of demand is a measure of responsiveness of quantity demanded to changes in price. So to motivate the discussion, let's look at a specific demand curve. We have quantity. And let's say our demand curve looks somewhat like this. So I will call this D for demand. And let's say that the price is at $9. And quantity is at, let's say, 3,000 units. Okay. And let's say the price has increased to, I have here $10. And again, my graphs are not sketched to scale. This is $10. And let's say that quantity has decreased from 3,000 to, let's say, 2,000 units. Okay. So what we can notice here is that the change in price is small, right? It's like $1. So it's like $1 increase from $9 to $10. But then quantity decreased by 1,000. So what we can say here, what we can conclude here is that for a small change in price, it triggered a large change in quantity demanded. We can say that this exhibits elastic demand. Now, let's look at the other case where you have an inelastic demand. So for the case of inelastic demand, so again, we have your price, the y-axis, quantity in the x-axis, and say our demand curve looks like this. I will call this D. And say we have here $9 and quantity is at 3,000. And let's say price increased from $9 to, let's say, $12. And quantity decreased from 3,000 to, say, around 2,800 units. So what we see here is that for a large change in price, it triggered a smaller change in quantity. So let's put these things into perspective. Here we see a small percentage change in price. So note that I'm now using the term percentage change. So here we see a small percentage change in price. It triggered a large percentage change in quantity. This is elastic demand. Here, a large percentage change in price triggered a small percentage change in quantity. We say that this exhibits inelastic demand. So, my question for you is that think of goods that exhibit elastic demand and think of goods that exhibit inelastic demand. There are many goods that exhibit elastic demand. So for elastic demand, to give you an example, I love fried chicken. And my students know this. I go to Popeyes, I go to KFC. If the price of, let's say, Popeyes increased, then I'm not going to go to Popeyes. So a small percentage change in the price of fried chicken, for my case, I would switch. I would not go to Popeyes. I would go to KFC. So in this case, so let's say I have here as an example. Let's say KFC. We can conclude that KFC, at least for my case, I view it as elastic. Let me give an example of inelastic demand. An example of a good that exhibits inelastic demand is salt. So we all use salt when we cook. And if the price of salt increases, we still buy it. Why? Because we need it for cooking. And also, we don't buy it often. And we use only a small percentage of our income to buy salt. So we can conclude that salt is a good that exhibits inelastic demand.